Really?
I bought something for you. Turn it around and read what the name of it is.
Is this not just a booster chair for a young child? Squatty potty!
This is where your ice cream comes from. The creamy poop of a mystic unicorn. Totally clean, totally cool, and soft served straight
I'm
from
never
the
going to have one of those fucking ice creams ever again.
You've done this before, haven't you?
I nearly dislocated my really old fucking shoulder on the... Tom says, quite creatively, hey, when we go down, just, you put your hands up, just do a couple of chins. Hi, mate.
How are you?
Really good, thanks. Hi, everyone.
Lots to get through today.
Pensive. Lots to get through today. I'm a little bit... We've got an extra light out there. Every week you're getting a little bit more professional and razzle-dazzle. What's happening?
It's just getting high-tech in here, Craig.
Wow.
I've got you a present today, actually.
Is it a present for me to keep, or is it a present for you to show me something stupid?
Bit of column A, bit of column B, but you actually get to keep this. You might not want it, and I'm happy to take it if you don't want it.
Alrighty.
But as always, that's
Does
at
it
the
serve
end.
any functional purpose?
A lot of functional purpose.
Does it have anything to do with dicks or anything?
That region, which is one of the favourite topics on the show.
Is a recurring theme, as created by him.
All right, I'm pretty proud of you, mate, because this week you texted me and said I want to talk about something.
I know. First time. Well, do I do it?
Yeah,
now?
take
Is it ready, set?
You can talk about
Well, it's the first time that I've thought. I've been asked quite a lot recently, and not just recently, but obviously the last 30 years, about, so I'm doing this and I'm training hard and it's not working, or I seem to put in a lot of effort for not a lot of return. So I wanted to talk about just quickly the way that a lot of people invest their time and energy with training, be it at the gym or be it in another environment, be it at the running track or the pool or their garage or wherever they work out. So I guess the one thing that everybody has in common that joins a gym or buys some equipment for home, whether it's an exercise bike or some dumbbells or a kick bag, kick shields or boxing bag, is that they want to create physical change. That's the common denominator. Like, nobody starts running because they want to look the same. Nobody takes up a strength program, or nobody takes up a gym membership, or nobody gets a trainer because they don't want to change their physiology, right? But the truth is, there are a lot of people who spend a lot of time in gyms who kind of look the same, who kind of, in terms of the results they're producing, or their strength level, or their fitness level, or even their body fat percentage, or their appearance, or whatever it is that they're after. But there's a point, there's an initial period where there's quite often a bit of a shift. It might be 3-4 weeks, might be a couple of months. But invariably, a lot of people in a lot of gyms flatline. So that is, nothing seems to change. And they go, but I'm training, I'm following a program, I'm invested, I'm trying. So I wanted to just quickly explain to people the notion of physiological adaptation. So apart from going to the gym to have fun, or to get a bit of a sweat, or to have a little social outing, or to, blow off some steam or whatever, I guess the main reason that people go is because they want to create change. And change only happens physiologically when our body needs to adapt. Yeah. So you getting bigger or stronger, bigger muscles, smaller waist, stronger glutes, less back pain, more flexibility, more speed or power, or muscular endurance or aerobic endurance, or any of those measures of fitness changing, that only happens as a result of the body being stimulated in a way that creates that response, right? So for example, if I said, Tommy, I want to compete in the Mr. Victoria and I'm training every day, and you go, great, well, what are you doing? I go, well, I'm doing yoga 4 days and I'm running 5 days and I'm doing Tai Bo on day 7, right? You go, that's nice, but you're not going to build a Mr. Victoria physique doing that. You'll build a physique and you'll adapt to what you're doing and so on. So it's trying to find the right exercise for what it is you want to do, be, create and achieve, right? But then more importantly, it's executing it in a way where adaptation is necessary. So there's the kind of exercise you do, and then there's the level of intensity with which you do it. Now, first thing, remember that exercise intensity is relative to the individual. So let's say you and me right now go for a run. I would suspect you'd be better at running 5Ks than me.
You'd be surprised, mate.
Let's assume you are.
Yeah, okay.
So we go for a run and we're both running at 10 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
So we run 5Ks, that would take us 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, so two guys doing the same run at the same pace around suburbia on the same day. But for me, it's very hard. Although we're doing the exact same thing, for me, it's a 9 out of 10. For you, it's a 4 out of 10. So for me, the benefit is high, but for you, the benefit is low.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're not really pushing yourself if your goal is to change. So I break it down to, in the gym or any training environment, there's maintenance programs and progressive programs. So if you want your body to adapt, don't do the same thing, the same way, same workout, same intensity, same machine, same format, same recovery time. This is what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And then they go, why isn't my body changing? And the reason your body isn't changing is because it doesn't need to change, right?
Yeah.
So, is it progressive, your program? Is it varied? Don't do the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Is it appropriate? Is it the right prescription for your body, for your goals, for your training history, for your age, and all of those things? So, for example, me with a 52-year-old body doing a lot of high impact stuff, not a good idea.
Yeah.
I can still get lots of intensity doing aerobic stuff without the impact.
Yeah.
By using machines and by swimming and by using bikes rather than running on concrete 7 days a week. You know, so it's just trying to figure out what works. So the take-home message is, if nothing changes in life and in the gym. Make sure that you do the thing that works, not necessarily the thing that's the most comfortable or familiar.
Yeah. So my take home for that is identify what you want to change, and then make sure if your program's not working to create those changes, change it.
For sure.
And always
Yep.
change out your workout.
Yeah. And like, your body is a big organism that just responds to stress. Like, if today Craig Harper stopped lifting weights as much and started running a lot, instead of weighing 86 or 7 kilos of muscle, or mainly, you know, pretty fair bit of muscle for my age and all that, if I stopped doing that and I just started running, in 6 months I'd be 75 kilos, so maybe 11 or 12 kilos lighter, probably about the same body fat, lots less muscle, greater aerobic fitness, greater recovery, lower resting heart rate, and I'd be much more built for running. So, and that would be the byproduct of running and backing off on weights.
It's so funny. I'm thinking about a friend of mine's girlfriend who trains really hard, is in the gym like 5 days a week, and smashes herself, does these classes, spin, like high intensity sort of weight sessions, lots of different movements, but it's all very similar. And she's struggling with results. So this would apply to her.
Of course. And of course, somebody's going, oh yeah, Craig, but what about diet? Okay, just for this, we're taking, of course, there are lots of other variables, right? You know, there's nutrition, there's genetic variability, there's how much sleep you have, there's hormonal issues. So we know that they play a role, but for just this conversation, we're talking about the exercise being one of the key ingredients. That's right. If she's always stimulating her body the same or very similarly, there's very little need for adaptation to take place. So in other words, what she's doing and what many people are doing from a purely exercise point of view is living in a holding pattern.
It's just about getting above yourself and looking at what you're doing. Because I know when I've been in it, I don't think like this, you know? It's so easy. When you look at someone else as a trainer, past trainer, I've been able to look at someone's program with no emotion attached to it and give them and prescribe them the right exercises for what they want to achieve. But it's hard to sort of put it on for yourself.
Yeah, so well, you hit the right, like you said, the exact right thing there, or the very relevant thing, which is emotion. The thing is that it's very hard for us, especially when it comes to our body, to be objective, to be unemotional, to be logical, to be scientific. Because when I'm looking at you and I'm assessing you and I'm giving you feedback, there's no emotional involvement. But when you're talking about your bum and your legs and your body fat and your posture and how you look and how you feel, it's largely emotional. It's largely emotional. So that's why I always say to people, you know, find somebody that is educated and objective and intelligent and experienced in this space, And if you can't figure it out, bring them in as a consultant or a coach or whatever, just to give you a level of objectivity and perspective that you probably can't find yourself.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
Boom.
All right. So this one,
That was very grown up.
I want to lead with the question. The question is it ever okay to step in?
How are my eyebrows?
Yeah, looking good, mate. Yeah, looking great. Is it ever okay to step in and tell someone who is struggling with weight or not doing the right things? Is it ever okay to step in or intervene in their situation? Now, let me give you where this question came from. Yesterday, my mate and I were talking about his brother, who I've known since we were young, and he struggled with weight. We were talking about the fact he lives a very sedentary lifestyle and he eats quite a lot of food. Therefore, the byproduct is he's put on a bit of weight. And and it's more just a concern. We're not pointing out, oh, he's just fat. We're pointing out that...
You're coming from a good place.
Yeah, he's very unhealthy. And I said to him, are you ever going to say anything? And he said, oh, I don't know. And so we were in this place talking about, do you ever say anything to somebody?
Firstly, how old's your mate?
Oh, he's my age, 27.
How old's the brother?
Yeah, about 25.
Does the brother want any input?
What do you mean?
Does the brother want to be told? Like,
Well, I don't
is
know.
he
That's the
open?
thing. Well, I don't know. I don't know how he would take it.
Well, his brother would know. I mean, his brother would
Yeah.
know whether or not... See, the question... It's a good question and it's a quandary because quite often there's people that we know or love or care about or all of those that we can see them heading gradually down a path that is not good for them. But most of the time they kind of know what they're doing. Doesn't mean they're going, hey, I want to be unhealthy. It just means they're going, I'm making all of these decisions and clearly I know I'm overweight because I'm not blind. But for now, I'm kind of okay with it. So I don't think there's a single answer to that because I think it's situation and person dependent. If it was my brother, right?
Yeah, what would you do?
I don't have a brother, but if it was my brother and he got a bit pissed off at me, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I'd go, mate, I love you. I'm going to tell you this once.
Yeah.
I'm coming from a good place. You might not talk to me for a week or you might have a light bulb moment, right? I'd go, you're putting on a bit of weight. That's not a criticism or that's an observation, right? You know what I do for a living. You know I love you. So boom, here it is. I would like to help you if you want to be helped. I'm here putting up my hand, coming from a good place. If you want to tell me to fuck off, that's okay. I'll fuck off, but I'm just going to put it out there once and I'm not coming back. Like I won't do it again. So if you want to take me up on the offer, cool. If you want to tell me to bugger off, that's okay. I guess, again, it depends on where they're at. You know, if somebody's killing themselves, like we see with drugs and alcohol, sometimes an intervention needs to happen. But in general terms with this stuff, I sometimes just open a little door, like where I might not be going, hey, look at you.
Yeah.
But I might just open the door a bit and say, mate, we should do a workout together or something.
Yeah.
See, and if they go, oh, that'd be awesome, then you go, cool. Well, if you need a hand with anything, so I'm the guy.
Yeah, because we've talked about you have to change you.
That's
it's not
right.
someone else.
And also we've spoken about the reality or the fact that quite often, even with good motives, even with good intention, remember I wrote the other day on the whiteboard, your intention is not my reality or my intention is not their reality. Yeah. And by that I mean, so we might say, my intention is I want to encourage and support and show you some love. So I go, Tommy, mate, you've got really good genetics. You've got great genetic potential. You're young. You could look amazing. You're a little bit overweight. And I want to help, right? So I think I'm coming from a good place. My motives are good. I'm offering what I think is some valuable insight and all you're getting is you're a big fat fuck and I don't like you, right? And you should be ashamed of yourself and you need to do better. So what I'm saying or what I think I'm giving, my intention, is not always what you're hearing, your experience.
Yeah.
So that's really where it comes down to situational awareness and emotional intelligence, Tom.
Yeah. All right, let's touch on what you just said, emotional intelligence.
Let's talk about that.
So, first of all, I want you to Craigify this, simplify the shit out of it, and then we'll dissect it.
What do you think emotional intelligence is? Let me turn it round.
EQ. Well, I think emotional intelligence is a bit of intuition. a better gut feeling, listening to sort of what's not being said. So you could be in a conversation, but it's about sort of how you're interacting. You can feel stuff between you and someone else.
Yeah.
Like, and it's listening to that, and it's maybe going with that sometimes over, no, this is right. Yeah. Well, no, this is how I feel. And so it's the emotions and your connectedness with your emotions.
Yeah.
Did I Gregify it or?
Yeah, no, that's pretty. You Tomified it.
Oh, but Tomified
That's pretty good. I'll give you a 7.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
That's right. Next week I'll interview you.
Yeah, thanks.
Look, that's good. Most of that is pretty around the mark. So emotional intelligence is really about our ability to understand ourselves, but our ability to understand other people that we may not even necessarily identify with or connect with, or we maybe really do, but understanding how people work. Yeah. Understanding in the moment what's really going on. When I go, "G'day mate, how are you going?" and you go, "Yeah, really good, thanks." You're telling me one thing, but like your energy is telling me something else. Yeah. So I'm getting that intellectually what's coming out of your mouth, he's telling me A, but I'm reading B and I'm understanding that. And so emotional intelligence is largely about the people stuff around performance, the people stuff around relationships, the people stuff around business, life, connection, communication. So what we see, not always, but often in business, the best bosses, male or female, best bosses have got pretty high IQ and equally or even higher EQ. So we're talking about general intelligence, IQ, then we're talking about emotional intelligence because they're awesome with people. Yeah. So what are some of the attributes of people with high EQ? They create connection easily. They feel, they're able to empathise. They have a level of awareness and understanding without having been told that. You don't need to tell me you're having a hard time. I know because I get it, because I pay attention. Whereas IQ is kind of fixed, like we can learn more stuff and develop more skill, although in some ways we can develop our IQ. But EQ is more fluid. EQ is you can build your emotional intelligence by really working at it, by paying attention, by being in the moment, by trying to quieten that inner voice and that overthinking kind of, rather than me waiting for what I'm going to say. All right, you finish your bit because I've got my bit. Yeah. Rather than, this is what a lot of people do in communication, is they just wait for that person to be quiet so they can speak, rather than me just being 100% invested in you. Invested in you, and then just prompting you to give me a bit more. Okay, why is that? Da 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 da. Yeah. Wow, where'd that come from? Blah, 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 blah. Right? So I don't need to be heard to have a great communication with you. And in fact, quite often, the less I talk, the better it is for you. Yeah. All I'm doing is steering and prompting and asking.
It's like just being in the moment. It's so not textbook conversation. It's just closing that and listening.
And taking, like being able to, ego's not the right word, but we'll use it for the moment, taking your ego out of it for a bit and just going, I'm going to make this about you. I'm going to make this about you, and I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to actively listen. I'm not going to bring it back to me. So one of the coaching things I do in my communication workshops is I go, right, I want you to talk to this, I pair people up with a stranger. I go and talk to that person. So you're doing like almost an interview of, let's say you and I are strangers. You come and talk to me and you just find out about me and my life and my beliefs and values and where I've been and what I know. And at no time are you allowed to agree or disagree or bring it back to you. Like, oh yeah, I did that when I was in. You can't bring it back to you. It's got to be totally about the other person, right? And it's really interesting watching people not talk about themselves. Some people really struggle.
What do you think my EQ is?
You're good. You are not. You've got a reasonably high EQ, but you've got. I'm not just saying.
Shit house.
Oh, you're dumb as fuck. But
so dumb.
No, you're not. No, you've got a reasonably. I think I'm guessing, but I think you've got, like, you're very creative, and you've got a very nice nature, and you're very. I'm not pissing in your pocket, but and you're charismatic. You're very likable, right? And for me, charisma and likability, or call it what you will, it's kind of there or it's not.
Yeah.
It's there or it's not.
The only reason why I ask this is I think I sort of am at heads with my logic side and that.
Yes.
Because I like, you know, when you're having a conversation with someone, it's so easy to think about yourself and to be so caught up in your own shit. And then also, like, I have sort of waves of that coming up, and then my logic side about, you know, making decisions and things like that, and just yes. It's like, it's a really interesting sort of flux between the two for me, I feel.
And I think this sounds really weird and deep, but when I was very young, I don't know if I've told you this, I've told a couple of people, but maybe told 3 people in my life, but I'm now about to tell a shitload. But there was an old guy in my life who was a mentor of sorts, and he was incredibly wise and intuitive and intelligent, right? And when I was young, 21, 2, 3, you know, still had the gift of the gab, but one day he used to call me Dear One, right? Have I told you this?
No.
He said, Dear One, his guru, he goes, so you have a decision to make. This sounds like something from a parable, but it's 100% true, hand on heart. And he goes, you have a decision to make. And I go, what's that? And he goes, you need to decide what you're going to do with that tongue of yours. Because you can build people up or tear people down, right? Because if somebody would have a little bit of a dig at me, like a bit sarcastic, when I was 22 or 3, I would come back at them and destroy them because I could, because I was a smart ass and because my mind and my tongue were quick, and they'd go, hey, bang, 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 3 out of 10. I'd go, whoosh, 11 out of 10, kill them. But yay, but no good. That's all ego. That's all insecurity, you know, and that's all me having to win or prove myself because I was young and stupid and insecure and didn't have the wisdom or the insight, you know, and so, and not that I've arrived, but it's just being older going, where did that come from? You know, all of that shit behaviour comes from fear of something. But it's just the older you get, you know, and I think as long as you genuinely, as long as you genuinely are working towards being a better person, right? Yeah. There's a lot of bullshit and fluff in this self-help, personal development space. Be all you can be and put affirmations up there and wah, wah, wah. And while everyone's looking, we're all love and light. But away from that, we're fucking idiots. Yeah. Some of us. And so it's trying to be the real deal so that, like with this stuff, we're not just having a conversation that might, you know, create some viewership or create some kind of momentum. Hopefully we build something that's, you know, that people buy into and that we have our own little show that grows and all. Hopefully, maybe not, but like we're doing it authentically because we're having real conversations about real things.
Yeah, that was good. Loved it.
Sometimes I think we get a bit deep. I get a bit deep.
It does. Yeah. But I feel the energy of, like, I said this last week, but like from the start to here, it's like the conversation grows and you just fucking drop it down, getting real deep on that shit.
I watched episode 1 and 2 the other day. Fair to say, production not that awesome.
No,
I
wasn't really trying.
No,
I'm still not really trying.
You were just freestyling.
I was freestyling.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was saying the whole thing. Me, you, all of it. It was all. It was fine. But I'm like, oh, the new ones are a bit better.
Yeah, much better. Well, you hope so. 10 in, you've learned a few things. Yeah. And I learned that bringing gifts for you work really well.
I love stuff.
I'm
an only child, so bring me shit.
This is in celebration of one of your posts, because one of your posts has had nearly 9,488 shares, 6.3k likes, and a shitload of comments. And it reads, farts make people laugh and laughter is the best medicine. Therefore, farts are both funny and therapeutic. It's science.
It is science.
So in I guess, celebration of that doing so well for you.
10,000 shares on a fart post. Really?
I bought something for you. Now, while that's sitting there in front of you, turn it around and read what the name of it is.
Is this not just a booster chair for a young child? Squatty potty. So...
Hang on. Before you even think about what it does...
I know what it does. There's a picture of it.
Well, have a look at the video.
All right, it's very comfy.
This video has like 25 million views, right? They've sold so many of them.
I reckon there's value in this. I haven't even explored.
Mate, I listened to a podcast with the guy who invented this. Him, his mum, and his brother, they are millionaires. They're millionaires off it.
You sent me a stupid thing yesterday, and you said, I don't have my phone. You said, have you heard of the squatty potty?
Yes.
And I went, and you said, but if you haven't, don't Google it.
Don't Google it.
That's like saying to a lolly addict, don't go in the next room, it's full of fairy floss or what.
So
anyway, I didn't.
Okay, good, because here is the video that accompanies the squatty potty. What you're going to see is like a cut down version. What you're going to see is the full, like nearly 3-minute clip. Right. But I'm going to cut it down. Just search it on Google if you want to watch the full thing. But here we go.
Okay.
This is where your ice cream comes from. The creamy poop of a mystic unicorn. Totally clean, totally cool, and soft serve straight
I'm
from
never
the
going to have one of those fucking ice creams ever again.
They're good at pooping. But you know who sucks at pooping? You do. That's because when you sit on a porcelain throne, this muscle puts a kink in the hose and stops the Ben & Jerry's from sliding out smoothly. Is that a problem? I don't know. Are hemorrhoids a problem? Because sitting at this angle can cause hemorrhoids, bloating, constipation, and a buttload of other crap. Seriously, unicorn hemorrhoids? The glitter gets everywhere. But what happens when you go from a sit to a squat? Voila, this muscle relaxes and that kink goes away faster than Pegasus'
really?
nice sweet sherbet dookie. Now your colon's open and ready for battle. That's because our bodies were made to poop in a squat, and now there's a product that lets you squat in your own home. Introducing the Squatty Potty. No, Squatty Potty is not a joke.
It's a bit wrong though. It's a bit wrong.
It's a little bit wrong simulating shit into an ice cream, then handing all those. So clever though.
Very clever.
Well, I don't have any. I don't have any immediate problems in the elimination space, but maybe this will just speed up.
You're about efficiency, Harps.
Unkink my colon. I didn't know it was kinked. It's all about getting leverage. How much did this cost?
Do you want to know?
I think not cheap. I think quite expensive.
$30. Yeah. But that's a present from me to you.
Did you buy this online?
No, I bought it. They actually sell them at Chemist Warehouse. And no, this is not an ad for Squatty Potty. Wow. My mum and dad have one, and my brother, and his wife have one.
Do you know what?
They love it.
Do you know how many people get constipated?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. And can I say more women than men?
Really?
Yeah.
So one of your sayings you say is if you haven't had a poo.
If you haven't had a poo since February, drink some water, have some fibre, maybe bite an apple.
Buy a Squatty Potty.
Buy a Squatty Potty. Get a little bit of biomechanics involved. Unkink your colon. Knock yourself out.
Look, will you use this? And are you willing to do a bit of a...
Or do you want to film it?
No. But are you willing to next week say that?
Oh, for sure I'll use it. It's nothing like good poo though. It's cathartic.
Look, on that note, we're going to wrap it up.
Hang on, I've got one thing to say. Can I say one thing?
Yeah, say it.
So I just want to say, if you guys enjoy these, we need you to help us create a bit of a tribe around this. So we're never going to charge for this. This is never going to be something where we're going to have a subscription where, but we want to build this and grow this so that we can get some sponsors, so that we can do maybe 2 shows a week, not 1, and maybe turn it into a thing. So if you like this stuff, give us some feedback. If you think it might add value, apart from the stupidity, but the education stuff and the things we have a conversation around, if you can share it with your friends, talk to other people, help us grow what we're trying to do here, that would be much appreciated. Wouldn't it, Brother Tom?
Mate.
It would. We're trying to do a thing here, and we think, we could be wrong, but we think what we're doing is okay, and we're trying to make it better, and we want to do more and bigger and better without losing the kind of organic nature of what we do. Yeah. But we might need you to help us grow it if you're interested. Thank you.
Like, share, that's it.
Yeah, tell people, maybe just send it to all your friends.
We'll be back next week with a review of the Squatty Potty.
Yes, that's right. I'm off to poo like a champion.
Gut.